Welcome back, my friends! I'm late, I know, it's mid-January, but I'm back. For today, I've prepared you a selection of 15 different G-Shocks, and I bet no matter who you are, one of these G-Shocks will definitely fit your lifestyle. That being said, 15 watches, 13 different platforms, let's go 2025. The Casio manga offers one of the most powerful sensorial experiences of a two-dimensional drawing transposed into a three-dimensional object, reminding me often about the famous Take On Me song. The two-dimensional effect is obtained through offering a perfectly matted white swatch outlined and contoured by a drawing made in a specific style of the Japanese manga comics to obtain this amazing sensorial effect. Other than that, at the base, this is a pure GA2100 model which shouldn't cost more than $200, so don't overpay for it if you still can find it. But if you're a G-Shock lover, no matter the age or your occupation, I'd say this is a must in any collection. The G-Steel is one of the best G-Shocks in steel released in years. The design is wow, the sizing is amazing because it kind of respects the current sizing preferences at around 40mm. Comes either on a bracelet or a rubber combo. One thing I know, it's crazy comfortable on the wrist. But most important, it basically offers the same features of solar, Bluetooth or super illuminator exactly as the GMB 2100D, but it is positioned price-wise at 60% of the full metal Casio. I'd say convenient. I just love its design and that multi-layered sandwich with facets and those polished accents which really pop into the sunlight. And then the 40th anniversary G-Shock is my permanent go-to wrist square. I own quite a lot of squares, but this one has something special. I love the golden accented watch head as a throwback to the first Kikuo Ibe model, but I also love how it fits with the composite G-Shock bracelet. This is a homage of the first model. Basically, every 10 years G-Shock releases a new interpretation of the first square. However, pay attention because the first model was re-released again, made available everywhere. I am expecting mine, so stay tuned for reactions. And then we are talking about the GM2100, or better said, where did you get the strap, man? I'm not sure how welcomed was the review of the model back in the days, but people were totally interested to know where I bought my strap from. This was an FKM from AliExpress. Pretty cool and a cool combo with the beautiful case of the GM2100 because the watch head is pretty sober, it's monochrome and the strap does the rest. Personally, I am totally into the watch head with that sober vertical brushing on the dial and the accented markers, which makes this model a premium companion on the wrist, and for $200 I think the price is extremely good. The DWH5600 is a practical way to combine the iconic design of the G-Shock Square with the data provided by a smartwatch. That's right, G-Shock slowly but safe entered in the world of sport watches or connected watches, and I can't figure out if this is simply a connected gadget or a watch. Being a G-Shock, I would like to think that this is actually a dependable watch rather than a gadget which loses its relevance once with the passing of years. I personally enjoyed this smart square. I think it's a good smartwatch with solid specs, a sufficient autonomy and a solar charging feature to keep it rolling without using a charging dock. The G-Shock NASA is quite a special one. Of course I missed the release and I had to overpay for it because this is how the world works. But I'm excited. The GW6900 is an old design based on the old sizing of G-Shocks, not to mention about the resin proposed. Being used with squares and Casios, this 6900 truly feels super robust, rugged but purposeful. No wonder the model was popular within the army. But besides the nostalgia of the watch, I was really drawn into having a G-Shock which has NASA on the dial, replacing the Casio logo. I think it's a special one, and if you extend your antennas, maybe you can still find it for decent prices. It is worth collecting one for sure. The next model is simply wow, but I just can't find reasons to justify the price of it and to own one, even as a G-Shock lover. The MRG B5000 is the most expensive G-Shock Square available on the market at around $4,500. Disclaimer, there is also a $70,000 Square, a special edition made in full gold, but that's an exception. The MRGB 5000 offers as well the same color combo of the first G-Shock ever made, with the bricks pattern, the red outline, but also with golden accents within the dial, featuring also golden circuit joints for seamless conductibility, has a titanium construction which is twice as tougher, and has a cobarium bezel which is 4 times more durable than conventional titanium. The appearance is of a lacquered model, pretty high-tech in my opinion, which doesn't ruin the original DNA of the 1983 DW 5000. Now let's go 100 times less expensive and look at this model, which is the Casio way to deliver an honest, beautiful square, the MWD 110H. I personally like this model and the way it's accented and jointed to create a unitary volume, having on top a nicely tailored metallic bezel. The model is very legible, the contrast is right, the numerals are oversized, and it feels its better purpose as a tough resin model than other G-Shock models. You'll see. So props to Casio, this is really worth sitting next to the G-Shock lineup, and it costs only 40 bucks. In the same super affordable theme, there is the Casio W219, which is a lightweight version inspired from the DW6900 in my opinion. This is a super practical resin Casio which isn't boring at all because it was released in different military color combos like olive or tan, and they are equipped with a nice fabric strap instead of the common resin ones. I think the addition of the fabric strap with leather makes it more special, comfortable and practical, and it combines very well the olive accents from the dial to the strap, interrupted by the black resin outer case or the leather accents, and it only costs $30, which is brilliant for that amount. Also, in the same thing with the fabric strap, there is the beautiful GM2100C with extensions to hold straps. Besides looking utilitarian and practical, the GM2100C is valuable because the contrast within the dial are finally right. There is a clear contrast between the dial foreground and the markers, also the hands, which is appealing compared to the previous GM or GMB models, which are very stealthy and non-inclusive at all. I like this combo with the lug extensions because it creates an interesting rhythm from the metallic outer case to the resin lugs, followed by the fabric strap which features an old school retainer and buckle. Very nice. The latest G-Shock Rangeman is one of the most robust sport watches out there, period. It's big, it's well defended against potential shocks with built-in metallic crown guards, it is high-tech and robust. All the attributes to offer that indestructible G-Shock as the Rangeman was known to be for years. Basically, G-Shock transformed the iconic Rangeman design into a smart sport watch, and compared to the Smart Square, this shouldn't be necessarily connected to a smartphone because it has built-in GPS and a great autonomy in order to serve the purpose. If this is the future of G-Shocks with connected features, I'd say it's promising, and I'm looking forward to see how they advance in this area against Apple or Garmin. Have you ever experienced the lightest square ever made? Well, I'm pretty sure because it's pretty popular. Basically, among the multitude of squares ever created, a carbon-hardened resin G-Shock square needed to be made in order to excel in this category as well. Well, I had it in my possession, I enjoyed it for sure, it's super lightweight, but I can't say it offers the best sensorial experience. I mean, there are resin Casios lighter than this one for sure, but overall I think it's quite cool. The transparent resin case with the carbon insert is indeed something apart. And then the GA2300 is a new model released last year. It's a totally new concept deviated from a square or a Casio, but sized and flattened in a way to sit slim on the wrist, having some interesting lugs extensions which allows to host various strap options for it. The lucky number of the strap width is 24, so quite exotic. But all in all, I think this model with a diagonal X layout on the dial looks interesting with digital displays on the bottom right and the weak indicator on the left hand side, leaving the top area to breathe, hosting only the logo. So if you're a G-Shock lover, this is a watch to be explored in my opinion. The GDB500 is one of my preferred designs. It's a new platform and a step tracker which has the ability to track steps and lap time counting. This model aims to offer the experience of a square but on a vertical layout, a design decision which makes it more compact, more purposeful and a bit elegant too. The unfortunate thing about this white version is that they wanted to really create a strong contrast between the dial and the outer case, and they successfully did it because you can't see anything on it unless you action the backlight. I think out of the recent released G-Shock models, my preferred one is the GAB 2100, a model which I named it as the Future Oak, because it kind of relates to a Casio Oak envisioned in the future. Although this is an all-black version, I did enjoy the way the dial can be read, thanks to the depth difference within the dial. It feels more of a sculptural watch than a classic flat one. The case is made in the same spirit with clear shapes. The outer front case is split into two parts which are continued forming the straps. Pretty neat concept. So if you want to know more about these watches presented, they have dedicated reviews on the channel. Now, out of the presented models, my top 5 G-Shocks are the following. On the 5th position is the GM 2100C. On the 4th position is the Casio Manga. On the 3rd position is the G-Shock NASA. On the 2nd one is the 40th anniversary Square. And on the 1st position is this G-Steel model because it's quite an experience to wear it, to own it as well. So that's it. This was my first episode in 2025. It took a bit longer, but I had to make a lot of changes within the channel, to kind of improve the interaction and so on. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'm really curious to know what do you think about these selected models and which are your preferred ones. Please let me know in the comments below. And as usual, if you're new around, please consider subscribing for future episodes. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching, and until next time. Be brave and let's go 2025.